Good morning. Welcome into Morning Drive. It's Wednesday, January the 4th, year 2017. This is Studio AP. I'm Damon Hack alongside Paige McKenzie. And look who's back. The pride of South Carolina, a member of the Georgia Tech Athletic Hall of Fame, Charlie Reimer, the big timer.
I like Damon. I mean, how can you not like him? What a great intro, and what a great way to start my year right here with you guys. We've got a great show today. I'm looking forward to it, and I've certainly enjoyed my break. I've been working on my game. I'm sure you have.
Yes.
I don't know about you, though. You been practicing much?
I haven't, but I am committed to practicing more and also hitting the gym. I'm in one of that New Year's resolution categories. We're going to talk a little bit more about golf resolutions again today.
You going to hit the gym, too?
I've got a trainer now. How about that?
You do?
Yeah. I'm going to bring him in. Yeah, you guys are going to be really surprised.
What's he training you in?
You know what? He's actually working with me on my posture. My feet, for the first time in my life, are actually working pretty well, and they don't hurt.
You.
I can even run now. How about that? I'm not running very much, but I can if I want to. I'm going to bring him in. You guys are going to be impressed.
Well, the folks at home should have seen you in our morning meeting, but I'm not going to go there. Let's say good morning to Chantel McGay for the second straight day. Good morning, Chantel.
He is a treat, that Charlie Reimer is. Well, good morning to you, Damon, and everyone at home. We're halfway through the first week of the new year. A good place to be. Another spot that's not bad. World's #1. Two-time major champion Lydia Ko spent some quality time with us yesterday in a very candid conversation. She talked about all of the changes with her coach, her caddy, an announcement about her 5-year deal with PXG. And she had some fun with a popular family game. You'll get a laugh out of this one, I promise. And with the SBS Tournament of Champions beginning tomorrow, we'll inspect the game of the top-ranked players in the field, Jason Day and Justin Johnson. Plus, with Hawaii on the mind, travel guru Matt Janella explores what the Aloha State has to offer and the things that make this island so unique. We'll start off at Kapalua and the plantation course. Back over to you, Damon.
All right, Chantel, thank you very much. The world #1 Jason Day making his 4th start in the SBS Tournament of Champions on Maui. His best finish, a tie for 3rd in 2015. And yesterday, he addressed the media on a wide range of topics, from his goals to his pace of play to his new clothing deal.
And a lot of people probably haven't got used to the sight of me actually wearing the swoosh and being able to wear Nike stuff. And you know, once again, you know, I was 16, 17, I was wearing the stuff, and I was, you know, so happy because that's what, you know, Tiger's wearing. Obviously, everyone wants to speed up the game. You know, obviously, it's a big subject in golf to speed up the game. In my opinion, I don't care so much about speeding up my game. I got to get back to what makes me good. If that means I have to back off 5 times, then I'm going to back off 5 times before I have to actually hit the shot. I think the biggest thing for me is to, you know, obviously, it was great. It's great to see that you finished #1 at the end of the year, but I'd like to go a full year. You know, not just go half the year and get to and finish at #1, because even though it's great, but I'd like to go a full year and then just slowly build on that. You know, I know what I need to do. I just need to keep working hard and practicing, and hopefully the results, you know, come with the process. But, you know, that's one of the goals this year. Is obviously the goals is, you know, obviously to win majors and win as much as I can, but win majors and try and stay #1 for the whole year.
And Day has an appointment with world #8 Patrick Reed, the 2015 champ, 5:40 p.m. Eastern Time. Day begins the season at the top of the heap. Charlie Reimer, a world #1 with an even higher profile with this Nike deal. A little bit later, we'll talk to Dominic Chu of CNBC about the economic impact of that deal. When you look at this 29-year-old world #1 in Jason Day, Charlie, what do you see?
Well, he certainly looks fit. He looks healthy. He looks motivated. He's got, obviously, the talent. I just question, can he stay healthy for an entire season? Because he really hasn't done that. If he does, look out, because if you look at the combination he has between the distance, the performance on the greens, and the part of his game that I think is the most underrated, his wedge play and his scrambling. I mean, this is a guy that has all dimensions of his game. It's just a matter of, can he stay healthy for long periods of time?
And we got a sense of just the ambition behind that in that interview or the press conference when he talked about, I don't want to be #1 for just part of the year. It's a big difference to be holding the #1 position all year long. It's something he's always talked very openly about, wanting to be number one in the world. Something that I think we got exposed to in the press conference was just his sense of transparency.
Yeah.
And in a part that we didn't show, he talked even a little bit more about how he wanted to be even more transparent moving forward with the struggles of being number one in the world and trying to manage the time demands that go along with it. I found it interesting that he was transparent about he doesn't care if he's playing it slow.
The pace of play.
He doesn't seem to mind what the reaction of the audience will be.
Yeah.
He cares more about being true to himself.
He's very honest, Charlie.
Very honest.
I love that honesty. And in pace of play, what you saw from Jason right there, that's exactly where we stand with pace of play. It is a major issue, and everybody that gets out and plays golf every day on real golf courses that aren't on the PGA Tour, the LPGA Tour, they understand pace of play is an issue. Nobody wants to be out there 5.5 hours. But quite frankly, the PGA Tour is not going to do anything about it. The players don't care. Why would he speed up? I mean, there's no incentive for him to speed up, and they're certainly not going to penalize him. It's just not going to happen. He's just saying, hey, I'm going to play at my pace, and I don't really care if you like it or not. And that's the attitude on the PGA Tour. They're not going to lead. The USGA is not going to lead. You can't go out and have championships that take 6.5 hours to play. So if we're going to speed up golf, we're going to have to look to the PGA of America to do it. The guys and ladies that are on the front line at golf courses where you play every day, putting in policies that try and help everyday players happen. Just not going to happen on the PGA Tour. The business of golf is good. They have all this data with the current pace of play regulations. Golf ends when it's supposed to end, which is good for the TV partners. So it's not going to happen. They're not going to lead.
He's deliberate in his pace of play, but he's antsy in his ambition. I love the fact that he said, listen, I'm number one. I want to be number one for the whole year. It reminded me of Tiger Woods when he was so dominant. He wanted to not make a bogey in the final round of the U.S. Open. When you're number one, whether you're Joe Montana, whether you're Tom Brady, whether you're Peyton Manning, you're antsy. You're uncomfortable. You want to maintain it. You want to extend your lead in the world golf rankings. And this Nike deal, I think there's something to that as well. This fact that he grew up watching Tiger Woods and knowing about Michael Jordan, there's almost some armor to that Nike swoosh, is there not?
And it's even a different layer of that, because every player that plays professional sports know that Nike is the most selective company in the sports world. If you're on a Nike staffer on the PGA Tour or LPGA Tour, you know you're one of very few, and you have to perform and continue to deliver results to stay on that staff. And so it is an elite group of people when you are selected to join that team.
Nike wants you to know it's not armor, though, Damon.
Ah, very good, very good. No you in my armor. Let's walk over to Travis Fulton, say good morning, the Golf Channel Academy lead coach. We're talking about Jason Day. It sounds like he's making some changes to his golf swing as well, kind of against potential injury down the road.
Yeah, I love the transparency too, and he had some things to say about the direction of the swing heading into 17. Let's take a listen.
Over the last week, week and a half to 2 weeks, I've been trying to really shorten it out, and it's more so just trying to. I'd like to really tighten my core. If you don't turn as much, you'll hit the wall and you'll stop, and it'll be a shorter swing. It'll be more compact. It'll be a lot tighter, and that's hopefully will take a lot more pressure off my back. It's very, very difficult for me to shorten it because right now it just every time I turn, it just the hands want to keep it going and going and going. I guarantee if you put my swing up last year to 2 or 3 years ago, there's a significant difference in driver length. It's a snowball effect really sometimes, and just trying to work on it just technically on the range, just try and shorten it.
Just shorten it. Sounds easy enough, but when you're trying to get distance like he does, is this going to be easy for him to do?
Well, let's take a look at it. He mentioned if you put them side by side, you would see a difference. So let's take a look. Here's Jason Day with the driver. This is 2014, and you can see Damon to the top of the swing here, kind of textbook Day, right? Big shoulder turn. He's always stabilized the lower body fairly well. You see a lot of players where they'll recruit more from the lower body. He's always done it more from the upper, and you'll see the club there just short of parallel, like so kind of 3/4-ish. That's where it was a couple years ago. Now, let's take a look at it last year in 2016. So we're going to split this up here. And there it is. And you can see 2016 here at the Dell. And, similar shoulder turn, but look at the golf club, a little bit longer. at the top of the swing. Now, a couple things that he noted there from an injury prevention standpoint, right? He talked about the back, the L4, the L5, but also the thumb. Don't forget about the left thumb injury. And he talked about when he gets long at the top, he gets kind of the runoff and he gets all that pressure on the left thumb here. So let's take it for face value for what they said, right? Let's shorten it up. Let's make it more compact, and that's going to help him from an injury standpoint. So here's a couple things to take note here. You can see in 2014 when it was a little bit shorter from the belt buckle to the chin, you can see the spine sits in a little more of this position like this, where you can see it gets a little bit longer now from the belt buckle to the chin. You can see the spine starting to take on a little more left bend. Now, we know the spine goes into left bend in the backswing, but as we get too long, the spine can start to lean too much. And then, of course, when you come down, then it's going to want to go the other way. And that can put some pressure on the lower back. Now, the second thing here, take a look at the difference in the angles here. You can see the wrist hinge here as it's longer to the top, more abrupt, putting more pressure on the left thumb. So these are the two things that when I look at it and I listen to the world number one, why he's making the changes, taking it for face value, perhaps the spine's going to be in a little better position. The wrist hinge is going to be not as abrupt, a little more like his hinge action with his wedge play, right? You can see how he's kind of very passive in his left wrist when he's hinging the wedges. I think we'll see a little more stable position at the top of the swing. As he mentioned, shorter, get the core stronger, and let's hope, for all of our sake, that allows him to play pain-free.
Absolutely. I like the sound of it. I still want to know what's going to happen when he's standing alongside Dustin Johnson on a tee box when they're trying to reach a par 5 in 2. We'll see what happens. Guys like to hit the ball a long way. Much more to do. A look at social media. We send it back to Chantel.
Damon, thank you. Well, with New Year resolutions, maybe yours at home is to improve your golf game. You came to the right place for that. Travis Felton will be back later to look at your game. Tweet us photos of your address using the hashtag MDFix, and we'll be breaking it all down, all of your setups later on in the show. And speaking of Twitter, you're going to want to see this. Justin Thomas, he's been known to have some fun with the boys. See SBK 2016. Well, he had some fun, I think, at the SBS Tournament of Champions. Jordan Spieth, he had this sign in the parking space that says Golden Child. This was tweeted by Golf Digest. Justin Thomas ended up weighing in and saying, "That's pretty funny, whoever decided to do that. I think it's your move, Golden Boy." Well, with the new year starting in Hawaii, it's the perfect timing for taking a look at Janela's journey. Matt, tell us what is in store today.
Thank you, Chantel, and good morning to you. Coming up on today's show, I take my 50th journey to the 50th state, where I meet up with watermen and sharpshooters, chefs and mixologists. Plus, I play some of the most spectacular golf courses on planet Earth. That and a lot more right here on Morning Drive.